out as they move into the knife round. So, knife round, big important part of the game. As much as players like to sweep it aside and say it's just a knife round, it actually means a hell of a lot, especially when you're starting off a semi-final. What side do you want, though, on Dust 2? Because this is a really interesting choice. A lot of people actually have started to go T-side when they win the knife.
Yeah, Dust 2 is probably one of those maps where you can be okay with losing the knife round. Obviously, it's going to be nice to have the option to choose where you get to start because you can kind of ease into the game the best way you know how. So, that varies from team to team. As of late, as you said, we've seen more and more teams pick T-side after we had a trend going away from the T-side over towards the CT side because that's where the hard rounds were to be found. So if you got off to a good start, you could pretty much pick your opponent early on. But yeah, I think it doesn't really matter for these two teams at this point. Both have, very known play styles on the map, and I think they're very familiar with each other. So there's not going to be any surprises from any of the teams regarding as to what they do. So side change here doesn't really matter. I think it matters way more going into the second map.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't forget, obviously, while NiP did beat Envy earlier on, TSM beat Fnatic last night on this very map and started off. Actually, I think they had a 7-0 start on the T side in that map. We'll see how it works out, because here we go. Pistol round getting underway. Anything we see once this map gets underway, pick it all out, figure out what are we going to dissect from this game.
For me now, it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not TSM are going to go to that double up setup that we've seen so much. And for NiP as well, because they've been using it on their T side as well. And Forrest has been an absolute monster with the op so far. And Alu, earlier today showed that he's definitely getting into it.
Absolutely. Immediately, we are going to see Get Right creeping on through with Freiburg over towards B's site, but that's going to be Forrest finding Cajun B, and that is a short opening. They're straight away going to push around Catwalk. Xyp9x is the man that's awaiting just around the corner. All three of them backed away, expecting that grenade to come out. And it's a simple bait, but Device is in the middle. He's trying to creep on through the doors, trying to catch them out, but immediately NiP turning around. Alu gets one, but quickly replied on by Device. Get Right comes around the side, all the way through B's site, and now the bomb is in play into B's site, and it's down to TSM to try and retake. See Exist in and around tunnels. He's going to spot out on Karrigan. Karrigan just creeping around the edges is so vital. Exist has to hold this battle, and TSM realize it. They've doubled up. Xyp9x is going to join him. Karrigan alongside him. He's going to try and keep him away. He gets a good flash down there, and a good shot straight away onto Xyp9x. That's going to be the head. That's going to get challenged out. Exist manages to survive. Freiburg comes to support. Now Device all alone on site. He will be taken down. Forrest lands the shot. What a fantastic start for NiP. That's exactly what they needed on the T side.
It's definitely what they needed, but that was so close from going horror. Because you could see that, during after Forrest picks up the first frag onto Cajun, they decide to turn around and rotate towards the B bomb site, which is nice because TSM have made a rotation, but Karrigan was inches away from catching those three guys coming back from Catwalk and the back. And if he just follows through with that push from long, that could easily spell destruction for NiP, but right now, it's going to be NiP trying to build up an economy here. TSM, doing something that's more and more of a trend as of late, which is not to do with the force buy in the second round.
Absolutely. Karrigan could be vital here. You can see him holding angle at the door while Get Right and Forrest are both there, passing the bomb across. Forrest is going to go and make his way towards Catwalk while Get Right with his P90 holds off. Device, a little scout from him. Catches a glimpse on Exist, but it's Xyp9x that's going to find Forrest the second he peeks. Little shoulder out there, doesn't manage to find the headshots that he's after. And quickly has to drop down and reload, and that's aggressive play from Get Right to follow on through. Comes down, gets the spray down, gets himself a double. Quickly on towards him. Exist and Forrest close out the round, and not a man is lost by NiP. That's exactly what they wanted coming into the second round.
Yeah, that's a great way of starting off the game. So far they've had minimal losses, and that's all you can hope for if you're NiP. You get the good start. You don't have to change out anything at all. The likelihood of TSM buying up in a round like this is very unlikely. So they can stay with their SMGs. No real investment needed. I'm kind of disappointed by the fact that they are not picking up Molotovs. That's something I think a lot of teams underutilize heavily versus eco rounds. So instead of using an AG that can be very hit or miss, they could use a Molotov to just clear out entire areas, and you can see one of them has been used at long, but I would like to see more.
Oh, Get Right actually might get caught out. Cajun being Karrigan are holding the angle while the rest of NiP push on through. Holding on Catwalk, and just a little glimpse is all Get Right needed there. Didn't quite catch on to Karrigan though, but Cajun B on just 3 health around this corner. He's going to get taken down. Get Right's going to keep on pushing, and it's a little worrisome. We talked about how vintage Get Right could appear, and Forrest comes alongside him. He had himself a very impressive match yesterday. when he picked up, what, 39 frags, I think it was, at overtime. Get right, already on a triple. This P90 doing work for him. Device, last man, gonna get found, but Freiburg will manage to get himself the shot. Forest will come around and finish it off, but there's the 3 rounds that NiP managed to gain themselves from that pistol. Now it is time for TSM to respond. We're seeing that double AWP coming out.
Yeah, and well, one of the small mistakes that NiP made versus Envy was the fact that they didn't decide to upgrade once the first buy round came around. And yet again, you can see Get sticking with that P90, Alu actually staying on the scout as well. And I think this could be something that bites them in the end. And you can see TSM already going to that double up setup, but Exist opening things up there for NiP. And that's already 1 out down, and that's a massive investment from TSM.
And they're just going to push on through. Get Right's already gone through the doors. Zipnix is going to be the man that comes around, but it's a good flash, but it's quickly answered by Exist. And now Dupree trying to hold the angle, gets himself one, switches across. He knows that Freiburg is likely to try and pressure him around tunnels, and that slows everything down. KGB, Carrigan are over on A site, Dupree over on B, holding the angle, but now they know there's an AWP there. Are they going to try and switch it up? Look at Forest. He's got himself all the way around, already checking the angles, gets a little glimpse there. It's a good flash. And now he's going to get a shot down long, and that's KGB that's going to have to back away. Kerrigan really the only man they need to worry about on site, and he's dealt with by Freiburg. KGB, though, in a straight-up one-on-one with Forest, does come out on top. But look at that bomb plant. Alu, he's got an AWP now, switched it up from the scout. Just holding the angle. No reason to show himself. And this is clever little play here. KGB trying to get it. Dupree is going to be the man that comes in support, but he's picked off. Get Right finds him. That P90 doing work. And he's even going to have the goal to challenge out on KGB. I think they're going to maybe leave him be in the pit there. He does manage to find one on Alu. And he's finally going to get punished in towards the pit. Can he keep them at bay? Freiburg comes in. That will be a clean round for NiP. And it is a 4-0 start. That's just about everything NiP could have hoped for. We talked about this. Can they go for that free, loose play? That basically what carried them through in the quarterfinals or the decider match. This is exactly the start they needed.
Yeah, and especially they get so much freedom because they get those early frags in the round. So TSM have to spread themselves so thin, and that allows NiP to play that carefree style where they're just kind of roaming around looking for people to find. And there's bit of a similar nade from Exist.
Oh, harsh. I think any player out there now will be thinking, see, it's not just my fault. I don't always just do that. Even Exist does it. In game leader for Ninjas in Pyjamas. But Get Right, making use of the smoke, and he's going to creep him round. It doesn't matter. Exist has already pushed on through mid there. Actually, tell a lie, he came out of tunnels. It was Forest that was pushing mid. And NiP just going to find everybody in B site. Zipnix is the man that's going to try and challenge them. Cajun B tries to get out along, but he's caught out. It seems that NiP have every angle covered right now, and it is poor old Carrigan left all alone in CT spawn. This is going to be a 5-0 start for NiP. Exactly what they wanted, but let's not get carried away. As we were pointing out, TSM versus Fnatic yesterday, they had a 7-0 start, and that went to overtime, so it is entirely possible to turn anything around in this game.
Absolutely, and I also think the fact that TSM CT side is probably their weaker side of the two here. So even though they can get off to a pretty bad first half, there's always that potential for them to make it back.
Well, Carrigan's going to get flashed out. Does manage to not quite get Exist down. Very close, though.
Yeah, and that's 2 players on NiP, living with 5 HP or less. And, even though it doesn't seem like it's going to have that much of an impact, in the long run, it could definitely do so. If NiP have to rebuy stuff on their players constantly and over again, that's going to make a dent in your economy. So right now, NiP just having everything go their way.
Double AWP setup as well. Alu and Forest. Let's see where they make use of it. It was Alu and Forest basically lining up at double doors, but Gerright's actually pushed straight on through. He's round the back. Doesn't manage to get the spray down on Device, though, and immediately has to back out. Device getting a good hit on him, taking him down to 10 health. That's going to force him back there. Alu, though, is going to be the one that challenges the angle. Doesn't land the shot. That nade's going to rattle through. He didn't quite catch on Gerright. Would have been the kill. While this is all happening, he's just pushed on straight through. He's got Zipnix behind him in CT spawn, though, and he will manage to get the revenge kill. Now, Dupree challenged out. Freiburg pushes through doors. Alu's going to join him. They've smoked off CT spawn, and KGB trying to hold the tiniest of angles. And it's going to give him the free shot. Surely he will land it. That's Alu down. Dupree all alone in B site. He'll get it pushed out. It's Exist that will find that one, and Forest will get the bomb plant down. So it's down to Carrigan and KGB. Looks like they're going to go for the save, backing away and just keeping hold of those weapons. A pause coming out from Carrigan, trying to see if anyone's dropped.
No, I think this
Tactical
might,
pause.
yeah, I think this might be a tactical pause simply because they're getting run over right now. NiP are playing with an extreme tempo here, and Get Right actually keeping the same kind of trend they did versus Envy up in this game, and basically just having no fear, running straight out into mid. And you could tell that Device was completely caught off guard. Get Right probably should have been punished by the fact that he does not pick up the kill instantly on that first altercation, but. You know, NiP right now are just playing way too fast for TSM to actually be able to adapt to what's going on. And I think that's also going to be a constant issue for them as long as they don't have that op in the middle area. When you could see that previous round, Cajun was the only one to have an op on them. They didn't have the money to go for double op. So...
Exists with 9 kills right now.
Yeah, no, he's
not something you normally see.
He's been getting off to a great start right now, and I think that's very needed for NiP as well. You know, nothing against Existus. Obviously, the in-game leader, he has a lot to think about when in-game.
Just one death as well.
Yeah, no, but he's definitely one of the really, really strong players who can, you know, he could easily drop a 30 bomb. Like, no problem whatsoever. But we haven't seen that side of him for quite some time. Yeah, back when NiP were, you know, on that 87-0 streak, then we saw Get Right Forest exist, kind of, you know, pretty much doing whatever they want, and that's the kind of player Exist can be.
Well, I mean, this is what the guys were talking about on the desk. It's like they haven't lost the skill, they haven't lost the ability. They've just, you know, obviously we saw Natu going recently as the coach role and talking about lack of confidence, which, you know, is crazy it may seem for legends in the scene, but you know, it can affect everyone at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you see even, you know, top athletes, all, you know, doesn't matter what sport or, you know, whatever kind of profession they have, if you lose confidence in yourself, it's impossible to do what you do best. So, you know, as for me right now, it's just great to see kind of a reinvigorated NiP, and you could definitely tell that Get Right is feeling confident in his skills by just running out.
Rushing through,
just completely madman style. You could tell that he had determination, like there was no, you know, no end to it, with him just constantly going back for a device.
And keeping that in mind, of course, this pause is actually maybe why TSM have done it. It's like, whoa, let's just slow these guys down a minute, because they are absolutely train wrecking us right now. They're just pushing straight through, unpause being called, and then maybe that's what it is. TSM obviously just a few little adjustments in tactics as well, but they had to slow NiP down. Maybe that's what they needed, but you can see, economy-wise, it's a little ropey. It is going to be M4s, but if they lose this round, they're going to be in trouble. Oh, nobody getting legged though. Halu trying to land the shot, but it is going to be a default setup, it seems, from TSM.
Yeah, and this time Sipnik's boosted up on the box and spawn. Really great position to hold off any sort of mid aggression, and you can definitely tell that, you know, that's been a focal point during the timeout to actually hold NiP back from potentially setting up for those B splits all the time, because they've heavily been going towards B bombs at the beginning of the game.
Something I remember Moses talking about with the NiP Envy game was the fact that NiP were getting that kill within the first like 10, 20 seconds of the round. Finally, TSM not peaking, slowing things down. This is probably how they're going to counter NiP for the rest of the game. Yeah,
the problem they've had in the past, actually, when playing NiP, you know, speaking from TSM side, is the fact that they ended up playing too passively. So they would give up a lot of space on catwalk, and NiP have deadly catwalk executions. So
we speak of the devil, that's exactly what they're doing, but this time Get Right drops straight into Zipnik's Cajun beat, holding the angle at Car. Freiburg going to peek around as the smoke is there, but Exist is going to push through, but he loses out to Zipnik's, and surely that's going to give the edge to TSM as Cajun B manages to find Freiburg, but Aloe answers back, but quickly was countered, and it's all on Forest. The last man standing in a 4-on-1. Surely he's not going to do the drop down there. He's going to take a peek on round. The bomb is there, tries to go up close and personal, but the jumps coming out with the M4s on Zipnik's, and TSM finally get themselves on the board.
Yeah, massive run from Zipnik's as well. Getting that first frag onto Get Right, that does a whole lot for your team, because if Get Right manages to pick up that kill on Zipnik's, it's very easy for TSM, especially with the way the game has been going, to think that NiP are setting up for a B split. And well, him getting that kill on to Get Right basically shuts down everything NiP wants to you know, trick TSM into thinking. But still, NiP probably recognized that, you know, they're giving up a lot of space on catwalk. This is something we can abuse at the later stages of the game. So TSM have to be still very scared, and especially after having won one round, they could so easily be reset in the money.
Well, pressure looking like it's going to be on Carrigan. Cajun B was holding the angle, he's backed away. It's a 3-man stack here at long. Forest did eat a nade early on from Cajun B. Get Right on Freiburg, holding the angle. Carrigan realizing pressure may well be on him. Zipnik's is going to be the man that tries to rotate. Carrigan does get the first round the corner, and you can already see Exist down to next to nothing, just 9 health for him. And now it's going to be KGB pressured. Zipnix is coming up ramp. He's going to join them. TSM going a good defensive setup here. But Freiburg does hop in there and answer back. Zipnix down. KGB pressured. He goes down. Alu on towards him. Karrigan's still not cleared out of this pit, though. And he's going to put the pressure down. But Alu switching to pistol will get him down. It's Device and Dupree versus Freiburg and Alu as they push in. And now Device, he needs to slow down. He needs to wait for Dupree to get in position. He's going to come around, but he's going to find a very low hit point. Alu clips him. And Freiburg now all alone, just 2 health. And he's going to get the bomb plant down, but that's going to give surely an incentive for Device and Dupree to close in on his position. They know where he is. The little jumping shots are coming out. You can see the hop is skipping from Device. He manages to find him. It's going to be an easy defuse, and TSM will get them second round on the board.
Important round for TSM, not getting reset in the money, and Karrigan that round. Even though he didn't pick up that many frags, he bought so much time for the rest of his team. He pretty much held back 3 players of NiP plus the bomb at long there for the longest time possible. So that was just really well done. Even though Cajun has to give up his life from to Alu from long, I think that's perfectly fine because NiP aren't getting any closer to the bomb site as long as Karrigan is alive.
So this time around, TSM going fast and loose. Look at Kero while he's going on here. Alu actually trying to get the quick peek as well. It's a double AWP setup still from NiP, so they've certainly invested heavily on this one. And let's see if their fast and loose play manages to work out for them. Freiburg trying to get some spam through the smoke there at double doors, but not working out from KGB's going to answer back with that one, but no damage being traded really between the two. Just 10 health dropped on either side, but Forrest and Freiburg already through. Forrest lands himself the shot on KGB, and now that gives all the information to TSM. The smoke goes down, and that means Device and Dupree are in a little bit of trouble. They're going to answer that. They're going to try and go aggressive. Forrest gets away with it somehow. The support of Freiburg does keep him at bay, and they quickly try and go for the rotate. Geralt lines up on Zipnix there. Well, he seems to be having fun in this game.
Yeah, he's just buying whatever he can and going crazy with it right now. P90, Krieg, doesn't really matter.
Karrigan not quite getting the taps down there. Does get a couple of hits, though. You can see NiP both low on health, but unfortunately Device wasn't able to find Exist head there. That could have turned it, but instead it looks like it will be a save for TSM.
Yeah, no, Device pretty much had to find a frag in that situation because TSM were so low on nades. Actually, they had none left at that point. So we retake and then, disadvantaged position being, going forward in a 3v4, that's not going to work out for you, especially with the after plant positions that NiP had. And, well, right now, NiP, they're just doing a massive amount of damage to the Danish side. And, well, their money from TSM, even though they won 2 rounds in a row, it's not that great. And they've been investing in ops, over and over again. So this is NiP's time to pretty much just break the game. This is their time to just grab Dust 2.
Break their economy, yeah, absolutely. Wreck them. You can see it was down to that, obviously going down to 2 in the last round, but they did have 2 rifles carry over, so they're not in too much trouble just yet, but you can see there's FAMASs coming. That's always the sign that things are starting to be a problem. Dupree getting tagged just slightly there. I think it was actually Get-Right that was tagging down. Look at Forrest getting caught. Molly going down. We saw, ironically, JW doing the reverse yesterday and pushing through that Molly, but no such craziness from TSM this time around.
Device also down to basically the last cannon off here. So whatever kind of tags he's going to get is going to be crucial. So yeah, he needs to do exactly that. Gets those first tags right in. He can't miss a shot or else he's going to be dead.
Will he try and get the second? Let's get right, actually. That's going to just simply rescue the weapon rather than anything else. Not going to go overly aggressive. Forrest is lurking in the smoke with Zipnix the other side of it. You can see KGB with backup. I think he's going to try and flash him the second that smoke goes down. There's the flash. Zipnix gets himself one, not the second, but he did a lot of damage, and that's going to help KGB to attack out the second. But Alu taken so low there, 22 health, but manages to land the shot. Karrigan's going to come around the corner. Alu's just going to go straight for the plant. It's going to be a quick play. Exist is actually all the way back on Cat. He's going to try and fish out and see if Dupree is going to hop up and over. Just caught a glimpse. This is going to be a crucial duel between them. Karrigan's been taken down meanwhile on site there. And now Dupree just skipping, gets caught out by Exist. And Device, the last man standing, coming around. He's got an AWP in hand, but it looks like he's going to switch it across to the rifle. Can he find Alu? Yes, he can. And that's going to force a little question for Exist. But this is a catwalk taken. This is totally doable. Device has got a kit in hand. The time is ticking against him, though. He has to make the kill. He's going to get it, but not in time. He will just rescue the AWP and get out of there. But it's going to be the round for NiP, and that's an 8-2 T-side start.
That's ice in the veins of Exist right there, not deciding to go up for the peak. And especially given how much time was left on that bomb, because, well, as you saw, the second he the Device pretty much only had time to do one fake defuse. And he actually committed to going aggressive towards short to kind of meet up with Exist there. But Exist, I don't even know how you have them possess that calmness to just not just run at the bomb.
Just get in there. As soon as you hear that little defuse, you think, that's fine. Device, aggressive. That's the AWP that they saved, remember. It's the only weapon they have. And he finds Get Right quick and early. Ballsy play, no doubt about it from Device there, just holding the slimmest of angles, hoping that Arlo or Forrest are going to go for that second peak, that second bite of the cherry. And that could actually be all they need to try and turn this round up in their favor. Remember, the rest of the team stacked just with the pistols. Full eco from them. USPS is across the board. Actually, Telelocation B's gone for a deagle. But that is about it.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a necessity when you save an op like that to have him be aggressive and see if you can find any sort of openings or find any sort of picks that is going to make your job easier. Otherwise, it's a bit of a waste because you're not going to let yourself be rushed with an op. That's not a great decision.
Here they go. Forrest and Exist pushing through. He's going to hop up and over. They do manage to find one, get the second. Forrest cleaning house there. And that will be an easy B plant for them. Alu's going to be the man that comes around the back. Uh-oh. Oh, well, he could have gone for a knife there, actually, to be fair. But fair play to him. Went just for the rifle. We did see a few knives in this tournament already. That's going to be Zipnik spotted out. He's going to be easily dealt with here, I feel, by Alu. And last man standing is Cajun B. He's just going to catch him around the corner. Gets himself a second as well. That deagle doing work. And now, I'll tell you what, he's going to try and rush in there. He's going to try and cause a problem. And actually, it's caused Alu and Forrest to be a little cautious. They haven't backed away just yet, but Cajun B is already making tracks.
Yeah, no, Cajun definitely, you know, just tried to bait someone from NiP closer in. So maybe he could pick up another frag, or maybe he can keep them by the bomb for a long enough time, because TSM have no idea whether or not he has a kit.
So 9-2. Great T-side from NiP so far. Can they take it further? TSM starting to get a little worried here. They have got a great T-side, as you pointed out, but
yeah,
they lose this rifle round. There's going to be a little testy.
I think 11-4 is too. You know, it doesn't matter how good of a T-side you have, but you know, if you don't give yourself an opportunity to actually play it, all it needs is, you know, NiP winning the CT side pistol, and you're pretty much left with one round.
Oh, that nade is going to go square around. Yeah, straight onto Device there. He's held his nerve though. Look at that. Not showing, not turning, just sticking in the smoke, staring at that wall intently. Now he realizes that somebody is about to come around. It's Get Right. They just got a little peek. He's right on top of him. Spins around. Didn't need the insane reactions there because Get Right was looking in complete opposite direction, but that is giving them the opening that they may need here. And Freiburg's also going aggressive. He goes down to Device. He was trying to be the distracting force, but suddenly it's a 5-on-3. And NiP with Forrest just creeping on through the smoke the other side. It wasn't in time, and he got caught out in the back. Now TSM, surely the round is in their hands.
Yeah, it's going to require some massive mistakes from TSM to throw this away here.
Grenade find.
Going aggressive. I think, yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. If Dupree doesn't hold this back for a long time, this might be trouble for TSM.
That's going to be a nade coming in from Zipnik, so that's going to get followed through, and now Exist has to land a quick headshot or he's going down, and Zipnik will find him through the wall there. So, TSM, we talked about how they needed some rounds, and that is one. And now can they follow it through? What's NiP's economy looking like? Oh, it's very healthy still. No problems there, that's for sure. Just going to be the single AWP for them, though.
Yeah, it's been working out pretty well for them to... Well, pretty much everything they've done have been working out pretty well so far. And, well, TSM haven't really gone to that double AWP setup because their economy hasn't allowed for it. So I think NiP feel comfortable with just having one AWP and then maybe pushing up the tempo even more than what they've already done.
It's interesting, NiP haven't really challenged out long too much. It's going to be looking like another catwalk push on short. Obviously down from Carrigan, just basically holding them off single-handedly. But here we go. Ali's going to be the man that's going to test it. Smoke immediately just puts Pate to that one. No nades followed through, but the flash was enough to slow things down. Zipnik's down in CT spawn, and Device goes aggressive. Catches one in double doors there. Forrest going down. Get Right, though. Single-handedly pushing through long. Gets himself a second, and that has carved A site wide open. It's going to have to be all on the retake, but Alu strikes, gets himself a double, and now Zipnik's all alone. Triple for Alu. And it is 10-3. Ninjas in Pyjamas secure themselves double digits.
Yeah, right now NiP can do no wrong, and even though their initial catwalk push gets, you know, pushed back because of the smokes from TSM, they do go down a man. Forrest gets caught out in mid by Device, and at that point, I think TSM were so confident that they're actually going to be able to hold the eventual push. But ooh, you can still see him. How is he not dead?
Karrigan with the AWP, single-handedly going to try and do some damage, but again, didn't work. Like you said, how was he not dead? Exactly. But he's going to come around to long, but GetRight's going for the spray down. Karrigan's about to peek around there, but he's been just taken down by GetRight. They know that there's one in pit, and that's a problem. Zipnix, he's only got himself a USBS, and he's just going to get flushed out. NiP not allowing him to stay in pit. It's GetRight that finds yet another. Now the spray. Dupree gets the one, but that is single-handedly the only man standing. And it's cleanup crew for NiP. Just the one man going down. 11-3. Fantastic T-side start. Can they take it 12?
Well, looking at the buy from TSM and how little they have to work with, I think this is very, very likely.
Uh-oh, shooting gallery time. Let's see if they can catch it around. Look, actually TSM, look, they stopped. So it's like, nope, not crossing over there. And GetRight just nicely tosses out the Scar, make sure nobody can catch their hands on that one. So shooting gallery, actually, TSM got away scot-free.
Yeah, they actually came out ahead because Pyjamas got tagged down to 18 HP. Not what you would have expected of, 3 ops and 2 auto snipers.
Karrigan this time holding the angle just around the side. Exist getting tagged up, and now that he's in a tricky position because they know where he is, and he's going to get challenged out. Exist will get the spray down. He's been hitting his shots in this match so far. It's a little scary for TSM. Aggression coming out from Dupree here, and that's going straight into GetRight's hands. Forever the lurker, forever just looking for that little advantage. It is just Device and Zipnix remaining for TSM to make this a fantastic start for NiP in the semi-finals. Can they possibly start it off with a miracle? Zipnix gets himself a triple. This is suddenly become a little strange, but GetRight will get the bomb down because he went all the way over to B site, so Zipnix has to go for the challenge. Alu, he has got himself a Tech 9, and there's the spray down. So 12-3, the NiP half. Not what really anybody saw coming.
No, I don't think I don't think it's reasonable to expect something like this. That's just how unlikely it is, and given, how TSM have been playing, how NiP have basically not been playing, this is just completely NiP magic, simply.
NiP magic. It's a tournament too late, perhaps, but it has turned up at last.
I mean, there's still $250,000.
Absolutely, there's technically more money up for grabs in this tournament because there is only 8 teams in it.
Yeah.
And that final, well, they've been in every final but one in the majors. This is technically the same money as a major, so maybe that magic will just carry on through. But here we go, TSM need a good start. That's going to be a smoke catching and covering the push on towards Catwalk, but Forrest is getting a little peek there, trying to crouch in, but he's about to get very busy as 3 members of TSM start to creep towards him. Exist is with him, and they get a quick tag as well, but he's going to get pressured down, but he's got the support, and Forrest gets himself a triple straight through, finds the heads. Cajun B gets a little challenge, but even Forrest gets a chance at the reload. He's going to pressure on. Can he make it 4? No! Cajun B answers, and now it's a 2-on-2. It's actually a tricky situation suddenly. All those little jewels in the middle, gonna get answered. Alu gonna get pressured on here. Karrigan with the Tech 9 in hand. Can he find him? Yes, he can. But now TSM both low on hit points. Freiburg 100% completely role reversal because it's TSM holding the CT side. But Freiburg's gonna get pincered, pushed from both angles. Karrigan gets a little peek around there. Tech 9 in hand. They are gonna push both sides. And Freiburg will be taken down. TSM get the pistol they required.
That was a chaotic round, to say the least. And that definitely should have been NiP's. That's the worst part, because when Forrest picks up those 3 frags, there's no reason for Alt to actually drop that into mid. Sure, the bomb is down, and you have potentially a TSM player out there, but I think it's perfectly fine of just playing it a lot safer than what they just did, especially having locked one of the TSM members in lower.
Freiburg tagged down to 3 there. As the little scout shot goes on, GetRight's alive. He's going to get caught out in the back, though. Surely, can he get away with this AK? He knows that Dupree's chasing. He will find him. And that Mac Daddy doing work. But now we're into a 3-on-4 advantage NiP, and they've, of course, still got those 2 scouts that they bought early on. Yeah,
and Dupree's within 1-shot range of the scout right now. So that's also something to take into consideration. Well, TSM, they're spreading themselves fairly thin right now, and I think that might be a reason for worry here. I would have much rather liked to see them gather up and then just go as a group. And I'm not sure if long is the place to go either, given how they have a scout, and that's something they know as well.
Yeah, Alu's going to be the one that's lined up, but for them, the scout is not over here. They're actually both over on B site. So Alu, with this P250 in hand, the single man to hold them back, but Forest could catch them on cross here. He's the man that's pushing back, but that smoke will stop that in its tracks. dupreeh does find the head, and now Forest trying to find something, trying to go for the little jump in scouts. We've seen them so often, but I think they're going to back away and go for a bit of a save here. Freiburg wants to keep hold of it. They invested heavily in their scouts, and TSM will take the round. 12-5. NiP still with a commanding lead.
Yeah, very commanding lead, and well, Forest even finds an AK laying around in lower dark. So if NiP are able to hold on to this, and I don't see any reason why TSM would want to chase. I guess dupreeh can, because he's already stacked up a bit of cash with that Mac 10, but you don't want to lose too many members if you're TSM. If you lose more than 2 players, then it really starts tearing on your economy. So even though you're playing up against ecos, you have to take that into consideration. What's going to be interesting to see now is whether or not NiP decide to buy armor on some of these guys. So Forest, yeah, Forest picks up armor, which makes sense. He has an AK with aim punch, you know, being a factor. You should definitely do that. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to get anything done with the rifle.
Let's see how it works out for them. Again, the rest of the team's just 5-7 in their P250 maybe as well.
Actually, device.
Oh, got a tag and a sale on device down to 16, and that can get followed up easily by one of those pistols. That's all they want to do with these scouts, or Forest. Just a little glimpse is all it needs. I think it's device. Or is it dupreeh that's down just dangling around there? It's dupreeh that's actually just about to peek into lower dark, but he's very edgily doing it. I think he's aware that Forest is waiting. The rest of TSM, all on the long rotate, by the way. They're coming through T-spawn all the way over to, it's going to be a B hit.
Yeah.
Existent Get Right going to be the ones that challenged. Alu sensing something's up. He's moving in towards mid.
Yeah, and this is an anti-eco that TSM has ran for a very, very long time. And the only difference is that they're not doing it directly out of the round.
Oh, it's a brilliant flash. It's going to be a 5-man flash, but can they follow it up? Exist not able to land the shots. Alu being kept at bay. dupreeh finds Get Right in the back there. It's Forest is going to try and come around the back with that AK. And actually, they're all very, very low here. Device and Cajun B both been tagged up by that scout, it seems. Carrigan the only man with full hit points. Alu and Forest on the rotate. Freiburg coming in. So actually all 3 of them going to come from the same direction, which is not always the wisest of choices, but Freiburg feeling very confident. Did he just catch a glimpse? He did. Didn't manage to land the shot though, but they gave the position away. So Forest is going to peek. He knows there's one at car. He manages to find him, spins around, doesn't get the man, just hiding behind the box. And Alu, I think he's going to choose better with this one. Does manage to try and get the tag down, but Carrigan not falling for that one. Gets out scot-free, and it is 12-6. TSM pick up their 3rd round on T-side.
Yeah, still pretty expensive round for TSM, even though they get away with the win. And I think NiP, I'm kind of questioning why they wanted to push in towards the side, because they didn't have a defuse kit, so they would have had to remove pretty much all 3 TSM members on the first swipe, which is very unlikely. But you know, they still do some, you know, a decent amount of damage to TSM. I would have liked to see Alu, as you said, you just save that scout, not get greedy and try to go for the AK, but you know, in the end, it's not going to be that big of an issue for NiP. They still get the 2 ops on them, Forest and Alu, and we've seen them do really solid work with this in the previous games, and already Forest off to a great start, picking off device here.
Got himself in a great little position there. He's actually going to try and follow it up with the second. Carrigan and dupreeh are going to push on through. Forest thinks better of it, backs up. He's got Exist waiting, lurking in the smoke, but he's going to get found out. It's dupreeh that picks up the kill. And now Alu and Get Right, they're holding their positions over on A site. They're not splitting too much yet. They're expecting a bit of a catwalk hit here. So Alu's going to be holding the angle. He's got himself an AWP, and Get Right actually going underneath. So Alu really is the one man that needs to try and stop them here as they all get ready to push on around that corner. There's the molly, trying to flush him out. He does have to land the first, and he does manage to make it. dupreeh goes down, doesn't quite get the second, and he will get picked off by Carrigan with your Get Right trying to go for the jump, but it's not going to work out. Freiburg coming up in support, and they're out very low now. He's got himself in a great position. Xyp9x just on that 17 health with Forest backing him up. Here's the gruesome twosome, and let's see if they can manage to land it. Are they really going to go for the boost? Yes, they are. They're going to jump on there. Forest is going to catch on them, catching them completely unawares. And the defuse will come through along with the AWPs being collected. NiP will take it 13-6.
That's just a very cool play from NiP. And I think a lot of times when you see T-sides you know, defending that bomb site, and they expect to see the head pop up and then disappear again, but it never did. So I think Kerrigan, you know, did 2 takes right there. He's like, oh, there's one guy there, but wait, he's still there.
Just a double take. There's a guy staring right at me. Should I shoot? Yes. Yeah. Too late. But, well, TSM can, of course, just buy straight back into this one. So we are going to see Device once again with the AWP. But it's Kerrigan on a tank 9 because they had invested fairly heavily. And they haven't really been getting away too clean in these T-side rounds. Yeah,
those 3 kills that Forrest got in that last anti-eco, that was a big impact on TSM's economy. But it's not like NiP have a great economy for themselves. Pyjamas, no nades at this point. Get right, rocking a P90, but I guess he's been doing pretty well with that so far in this game, so you can't blame him.
Yeah, but he's long. I'm wondering if he's going to go aggressive. I think Exist possibly just heard the heavy footsteps of TSM coming around catwalk there. No, he's going to creep in towards... And it's going to be Forrest that will get challenged out. Now, obviously, he's holding the AWP, but pretty much doing exactly what Alu did. So they've switched positions, obviously based on spawn, I'm guessing, that they've tried to get the long A shot. But as it stands, TSM wait for the smoke to clear. Forrest is going to be the man that will get challenged. They have switched positions, remember. It was a car before. This time, he's not going to land those shots, but that flash will buy him time. Exist manages to get in and around there, but he doesn't find the man that he was after. But Forrest gets a second. Can't quite make it a third, but Get Right still alive with that P90. He cuts off the man down at long A. And now Device tries to go for the challenge on him. Get Right getting a little peek across there, but the bomb is down. Device and KJB holding them off. Freiburg coming up ramp. Meanwhile, he's going to get challenged out. Freiburg cleared out there. KJB is going to be careful. He's walking sidelong in towards Alu, but Get Right going down will give the round to TSM. Alu is going to go for the save. And TSM will live to fight another day. 13-7. They're not out of it yet.
No, definitely not. And great job from Device there. I still think that should have been a very doable situation for NiP, but I think it was a bit of a premature push coming up from Freiburg because he ran out while Ollie was still smoked off on short, and there's no really realistic way for Get Right to get up and close to that bomb site unless you're, you know, counting on Device missing a whole lot of shots, and that doesn't really happen at this level.
Certainly not for Device, that's for sure.
They do manage to hold on to an op though, so they can make a lot of stuff happen. I'm hoping that they're going to play aggressive with it.
Let's see, he's going to go over to long A with it, so it's not going to work out. It's not going to be a mid-door challenge. Exist and Freiburg did get away with being legged there, but it's Dupree, KJB, and Zipnik's all pushing through tunnels. The smoke will slow them down for now. Get Right actually peeking, so Get Right being the man that peeks for Alu there. They're actually looking through long A doors, and Device is heading that way. I think they suspect that possibly we could see a little bit of aggression coming from them.
It's definitely a possibility. Alu's got to fall back though, so that's unfortunate. That could have potentially been an opening for NiP, but I'm not sure if I'm a fan of him just staying static in a position for too long of a time, because you're kind of giving away the one strength you have in this round. So unless you're stacking with the 4 others on one Bob site, I think you should kind of have to be looking for information or looking for picks with that op on Alu.
Well, Carrigan's going to get a little peek around there, checks out. Get Right's going to be the man that he finds, and it's Exist that is the doorman trying to stop TSM coming through. Freiburg gets one, but he's getting tagged out. Freiburg gets himself a second. Exist gets another, and what the hell just happened? NiP decimated by 2 pistols coming into B site.
Yeah, very good question. What the hell just happened? I mean, honestly, I have no idea. Exist manages to peek out the first 2 TSM members coming in through exit there early on without getting spotted. That's obviously big because Freiburg takes pretty much the entire world of attention and just directs it towards himself. And somehow, no idea how he managed to survive, but already TSM getting aggressive here on this force buy with Tech 9s.
Quick play, Get Right's going to be the man. Oh, he's going to flash it. He's going to push on through that smoke. He's going to be right in their face. They've no idea he's there. Gets himself a double spray down, turns around. Can he make it a triple? His Device and Zipniks, they're in on site, but they're in a no man's land right now. Get Right's going to push on through, catches another around the side. And this is almost a bit of a vintage NiP coming out here. 15-7 map point for NiP here in the first map. It is their choice, Dust too, but TSM, I think it was, let's think of the words of Moses. They are the best team in the world on this map.
Yeah, no, yeah, you wouldn't expect this. Simple as, yeah, I don't think TSM are the best Dust 2 team in the world, but I definitely would have thought they were better than NiP.
Well, as it is, all of the analysts seemingly are going to be proven wrong here because TSM are dropping like flies all across the map. It is a 4-on-3. Carrigan Can he try and pull anything out for his team? No, he can't. Exist, honestly, who has been hitting shots throughout this entire map, and that's a good sign if everybody in NiP is starting to turn up, starting to deliver. That is a real problem for TSM. It's going to be 16-7 the first half, and first map, sorry, in this best of 3 series. That is incredible, no doubt about it.
It's unbelievable. That's what it is.
I mean, Mirage is next. Let's not get carried away. There's still a long way, Mirage and Inferno, but 16-7 is a score that is not too close. A 12-3 first half for NiP on the T side. We didn't really see TSM get going there on the T side. They didn't have a chance because NiP just rushed on through them.
Yeah, no, that start they had as well. NiP, especially led by GetRight and his aggressive playstyle really in that middle area, as well as Exist getting off to that hot 9-1 start. That meant a ton for them. TSM had to waste their tactical pause within the first 7 rounds. Obviously not the best place to start off of. And, well, not surprisingly, you could see happy faces on NiP as they walk by us.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever it is, whether it's a new lease of freedom they've managed to get, whether it's Heaton coming back as coach, whether it's the owner being in the house for them, I don't know what it is, but it seems to be working, no doubt about it.
Yeah, whatever you're doing for this tournament, do it for the future as well.
Do it more often, that's what we can only hope. But what a fantastic start here in the best of 3. NiP taking TSM down 16-7 on Dust 2. Certainly not what we were expecting. What can we hope for from Mirage?
What we can hope for from Mirage is TSM getting back to being TSM, because that means, first off, we're going to see TSM not go out of this, without any sort of fight, and also it's going to be a 3rd map, and that's what I want to see.
Yeah, we think so. Let's see how it goes. We'll be back after the break, ladies and gentlemen. Mirage is the next map. We are live in Dubai. We'll see you in a few.